June 13th, the go-home show for TakeOver Chicago is in the books, and we are about to break it all down for you here at One Wrestling Video because you are tuned into This is NXT. My name is Jargo. I'm the NXT digital reporter for OneWrestling.com, and I am ready to talk some NXT. Let's start things off with tonight's NXT TV, and then we'll take a look at what's coming up at the show that I will be at live this Saturday night. Of course, I am talking about TakeOver Chicago. First, let's talk about tonight's NXT TV, June 13th, 2018. Once again, as always, coming to us from Full Sail University in Orlando, Florida. This week's show kicks off with the artist formerly known as War Machine taking on Ricky Martinez and Justin Storm, this week representing the Job Squad. There's not really a whole lot to talk about here, just more mindless bludgeoning from Hanson and Rowe. We really need to just get these guys into a real program. I'm growing quite bored watching them just mindlessly annihilate jobbers every couple of weeks. Thankfully, it seems that we are destined for a collision between the artist formerly known as War Machine and the artist formerly known as TM61, now simply known as The Mighty. We would find out later on in the show that this match is official for next week and will be filmed prior to TakeOver Chicago. We then go backstage as Kyle O'Reilly is preparing for his match later on in the night with Pete Dunne for the UK Championship. Adam Cole spots the camera filming from down the alley and comes and jumps in the camera's face and explains that you don't film the Undisputed Era without his permission. This is all fine, well, and dandy, but why are we not getting Adam Cole in Chicago this Saturday night? Why is there no North American Championship match? This has me quite irritated. I was really looking forward to seeing Adam Cole perform live since I missed him every time that he was in ROH. But now it seems as though Adam Cole is going to be defending the North American Championship in the UK. Those shows being recorded next Monday and Tuesday, airing on the WWE Network later on in the month. Then we go to one of the more perplexing things on this show, and it doesn't even have anything to do with wrestling. We go to the vignette of Fozzie's Painless, the theme for TakeOver Chicago. How odd that the TakeOver Chicago theme song is now sung by the IWGP Intercontinental Champion, Chris Jericho. 2018. What a time to be alive if you are a wrestling fan. We then go to a recap package of Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa. Years of story told in one brilliant video package, really focusing on what's happened since TakeOver New Orleans, along with some footage of the early days of DIY mixed in. Just more brilliance here from the NXT creative team. Mr. Borash, my hat's off to you, sir. We then move on to the second match of the night. This one, of course, is set up from last week on NXT TV when EC3 took over Cassius Ohno's photo shoot. Yes, that's a real thing. This is just a bit of filler program as Ohno is playing that gatekeeper sort of role. It seems like if you're a new guy coming into NXT, chances are your first feud is going to be against Cassius Ohno. I'm really ready for them to do something with Ohno, kind of like what they did with Hideo Itami about a year ago. Get tired of being disrespected and sort of assert himself as the living legend that he is. As far as EC3, is he supposed to be a heel? I mean, he comes out and the entire crowd's going nuts for the guy. There's NX3 signs everywhere. If he's supposed to be a heel, can we please get some kind of character development, at least establishing this? So what is next for EC3? What is next for the man formerly known as Hero? Hit me up on Twitter, @NotJargo, and let me know where you see these two a year from now going into NXT TakeOver Chicago 3. We then go to Bianca Belair versus Aaliyah. Bianca comes out looking like she just got out of the Mile High Club with Papa Smurf. What's going on with the lipstick? Tar Heel Blue is an ugly color on anyone, even Bianca Belair. She takes on the seemingly gypsy of NXT. I don't get Aaliyah. I've never understood what sort of direction they're trying to go with her. Pretty sure this match was not going to end well for Aaliyah. Here's a spoiler alert. I was right. Yet again, very much like with EC3, is Bianca Belair supposed to be a heel? Because the audience is going nuts for her. It's hard to get over as a heel when the entire Full Sail crowd is chanting EST. Bianca, though, incredibly impressive in this match, even deadlifting Aaliyah at one point. Looking forward to seeing what they have planned for Miss Belair going forward. Of course, we would find out a bit later on in the show. We then get a video package of Shayna Baszler versus Nikki Cross for the NXT Women's Championship. This may be the match that I am most looking forward to at TakeOver this Saturday. This entire video package is everything that the WWE is missing the boat on with Ronda Rousey. Nikki Cross and Baszler both feel dangerous. They're fighting for a prize. They're fighting for a purpose. I can't wait for this match. It's everything they're doing wrong with Ronda Rousey. Shayna Baszler, that's the girl who is going to make you a whole bunch of money going forward. We also find out the UK tapings that are scheduled to take place at the Royal Albert Hall this Monday and Tuesday, night 2. The North American Women's and Tag Team Championships will all be on the line. Of course, Adam Cole will be the defending North American Champion. The Women's Championship on the line at TakeOver Chicago, as are the Tag Team Championships. No announcements of challengers, which I also find a bit peculiar. We then go to a backstage interview segment. Lots of video packages and interviews on this show with Dakota Kai. She says that she wants another shot at Shayna Baszler and Baszler's championship. And then this interview is interrupted by the aforementioned Bianca Belair. This match seems like it is going to be official for next week, which means it will be taped prior to TakeOver Chicago. Bianca Belair versus Dakota Kai. Very much looking forward to that match. Your main event of the night is up next as one half of the NXT Tag Team Champions. Kyle O'Reilly takes on Pete Dunne for the WWE United Kingdom Championship. O'Reilly is out first, strangely alone, followed by the champion Pete Dunne. Dunne with his left leg taped up after the blindside attack from O'Reilly a week ago. Really enjoyed this matchup, especially inside of the NXT context. I think we've almost forgotten how good of a solo competitor Kyle O'Reilly really can be. Really enjoyed the blend of styles here between Dunne's scientific mix of British style along with the physical striking and joint manipulation against O'Reilly's more MMA background and style. In the end, Dunne hits the bitter end to retain, but I would love to see more out of these two going forward. A full-on program would be fantastic. After the match, Cole and Roddy come out and beat down Dunne. Then Birch and Lorcan come out to make the save. Dunne and Cole brawl to the back so 1-2 Punch and Undisputed Era can come face-to-face to help hype their match for this Saturday in Chicago. All in all, this match and segment were incredibly well done. Thank God for tag team wrestling in NXT, since we obviously don't get very much of it on the main roster these days. Finally, like any good go-home show should be closed out, you get an appearance of your NXT champion, Aleister Black. After a few words regarding his challenger, the NXT monster invades Full Sail. Lars charges to the ring and Aleister goes to work with strikes until Lars catches Black and puts him down. Then he picks up the champion, puts him down again. Finally, a third time Lars picks up Aleister and puts down the champion with the freak accident. Lars carries Black like a little baby over his shoulder to the announce table and lays him on a sacrificial altar. Lars stands tall over the champion as we go off the air with the championship held high. Great way to go off the air going into TakeOver. Lars feels like a legit threat to Aleister's reign. Can Aleister finally hit the Black Mass on Lars? I mean, that's really the payoff that we're all looking for. It's almost the Omega and Okada story. Could Omega finally hit the one-winged angel on Okada? Of course, we will finally find out this Saturday in Chicago. So that's going to wrap things up for this week. Be sure that you join me and my favorite Huckleberry, RBV, over in the locker room this Monday at hackerhameen.podbean.com as we do a full review of TakeOver Chicago as well as Money in the Bank. Maybe I'll try to record the NXT portion and upload it here so you have the review show that way. Of course, you can also catch Rick and Big Ray right here at One Wrestling Video for their Raw and SmackDown reviews. If you want to keep up with me over the course of the weekend, find me on Twitter at NotJargo as I will be there live. Have I mentioned that I will be live at TakeOver Chicago? So that's it for tonight. I'm off to work, and for now, I'm off like a prom dress. See ya!